I think that the most effective tool that I can share with younger media makers, particularly women, is to trust their own voice, to commit to it, to commit to their own voice, and to risk a certain amount of abandonment about that. That, you know, I think we spend a lot of time saying, you know, does that sound all right? Does that make sense? Does that, you know, and you don't get to double dare yourself. And I think that you find a lot more truth when you trust your own voice, when you're able to make it, when you're able to go from the extremely personal and connect it to something larger than yourself.
So do you, in terms of like working with the that you work with, is that something that you explicitly say to them, or does it or is it kind of subtly mixed into the teaching that you do, and then that's like a byproduct?
No, when I'm teaching, a lot of times when people are first, particularly young people who are working using media or multimedia in a social justice content, they tend to sort of abstractify or pontificate or remove it from themselves. And I'm trying to say to them consistently, keep it personal. Even if the discourse isn't, this is the experience that I've had, it should come, and as you're creating the work, you need to be able to somehow see yourself in it. Somehow be able to identify where you're not like some anthropologist going around measuring heads, you know?
On a local level, we do have a program called Media to Go. A lot of advocacy and organizing groups don't always have the capacity to use media effectively, and so we've created this program, Media to Go, to allow other local nonprofits the ability to use media effectively by providing a weekend workshop for them where they learn how to produce public service announcements that are connected to their own issue and already, you know, ongoing organizing campaign. Some people that we've worked with include Planned Parenthood, Teach Our Children, which is a local parent organizing group, and they've both created public service announcements that allow them to communicate their issue to a wider audience on a local level.
There's a lot of things like that I feel like I was able to give to other media fellows, that such as lesson plans, like what does that look like, you know, like little teacher things like fish bowls, turn-in talks, all these little things that we do sort of not naturally, but they teach us to do in education school, and they're also really helpful, and I know Saki has put some of them into play, and different people, and have been pretty successful. And then going the other way, there's a lot from youth media that I think needs to be taken into education, and also they maybe should not at all be looked at as totally disparate fields. I don't think they should be, but I think there's a lot that we can do with education, and also that education is starting to open up and understand that technology and media is important.
We developed our programs and our organizing in a way that the two have become one. So, for example, in our summer program, not only do youth learn community organizing and media production and actually produce media around issues that are important to them, they also engage in a campaign that the organization has decided to engage in. They're actually led by one of the campaign committees in the organization. For example, this past weekend program, which happened to be multi-generational, was called for by the I-Word Pedal. The I-Word Pedal said, we need to put out media right now, and we need to put out media about who we are and what our issues are, and to humanize our communities. So we initiated the weekend program because of that. So I think it's something that a lot of nonprofits, a lot of social justice organizations could use. This model of the campaign being part of the program.